Now, let's just look at what are the demands of Madaris authorities from the government of Pakistan. Madaris often demand for following reforms. Number one, the Wafaq degrees of metric, which equates to Sanve Ama, and intermediate, which equates to Sanve Khasa, are not approved yet. Whereas its higher degree, Shahadatul Almiya, is recognized as equal to MA Islamic Studies and Arabic. The government should accept these lower level degrees as equal to the formal educational system, is what is demanded by the madrasa authorities. The second demand would be the Wafaq should be affiliated with the Federal Ministry of Education or Federal Ministry of Religious Affairs. Despite passing of the 18th Amendment, the Madaris prefer to remain part of the federal government. Madaris should also link with the Higher Education Commission, a government higher studies oversight body, and all education grants should be distributed among Madaris through it. The third demand is that the Madaris should be exempted from all utility bills, and this will be the best way of cooperation from government side. So in other words, what Madaris want is that their expenses are cut down and the government basically provide them with the subsidy in the form of the exemption of these utility expenses, utility bill expenses. Number 4 demand would be obstacles of bureaucracy for registration of Madaris should be removed in the registration process. Now, I think that's a very good demand simply because we understand that there are a lot of Madaris, hundreds and thousands of them, which are not registered. We need a rather revolutionary action to bring them back into the sphere, to bring them back into the mainstream. For that, we actually need to take the revolutionary measures. One of that can be, we can make the digital registration process accessible to them. So if there would be an easy, convenient, online registration process, they would not have to go through the bureaucracy. They will not have to move their application from one desk to another desk, then another desk, and that eventually does only make the process lengthy. So I think revolutionary steps need to be taken in the registration process, and we need to find a way to keep the bureaucracy out of it. Number 5, opportunities should be provided for Madaris students for easy admission in universities and participation in competitive exams. Now, as far as this particular demand is concerned, I think to an extent it is understandable, it is comprehensible, but we also need to understand that universities can't just open their doors to anyone. So the Madaris need to make sure, and for that the government can actually facilitate, can actually engage themselves, can cooperate, that the Madaris provide students with the necessary skills of the academics so that when they graduate from the madrasa, the universities on merit can offer them the admission. So the Madaris need help not by the government in opening a particular quota for their students, because even if that happens, the students would not be able to sustain their studies there because they do not have the right skills. The world has moved on, it's 21st century, the academia has evolved, so they need to have the skills. So I think with this demand, what madrasa needs to do is, madrasa authorities needs to bring the core curriculum reforms within their own system, with the help of the government maybe, so that on merit their students can be selected in the good reputed universities of Pakistan. Then number 6, the government should provide opportunities of job to Wafaq students in all its departments. Now that is also a good demand, but we need to understand that the government can't just open their doors or can develop a quota for the Madaris students for different departments, simply because the job would have a particular expectation of skills, of knowledge. In order for the job to be done correctly, effectively, efficiently, for that madrasa has to make sure, or madaris have to make sure, that they equip students with the 21st century skills, so that when they graduate, they are picked again for different jobs by different departments, government or private, on the basis of merit.